ब्रह्मचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिसकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदनंदन जय व्रज जन रंजन जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Sitanatha Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay, Hare Krishna. Please hold on.
Hare Krishna Mataji, we can't hear you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, sorry. Today we are going to see this mantra number 9. But before seeing, I just would like to have a little icebreaker with you all. A casual discussion. On like yesterday, we were talking about the education, right? And we saw a shocking sloka. So, generally, what do we consider in material world? What do you think is how important is education? We all had this education in school and college, and now also when we have children, we have we are encouraging them to be very studious. I don't know, devotees, they are balancing, but non-devotees especially, they are encouraging their children so much to study, tuition. And like pressure is on the children also, and naturally we are not interested to study in schools and colleges. So now I have a question, each one of you can answer. Was your experience in school? Did you really like studying? How much knowledge did you carry forward? Means sometimes some people like studying, some people don't like studying. So first you say whether you liked it or didn't like
Mataji,
it.
I would like to share my thing.
One
Honestly,
second, let me complete this. And second is, how much of your, okay, sometimes you liked it. You are very good student and you liked studying. You liked the exams, you liked the classes, you liked going to school, maybe. In that case, you have to share how much of you of that education, what you did, are you carrying it out today. So these are the two things. Yeah, these are the two things we are discussing. Yeah, Om Govinda Rai Prabhu. Yes.
yes, Mataji, I was
Keep it
telling
short.
that.
All of you should keep it short that everybody should have an opportunity to talk. So if I say 3 minutes, you have to stick to. If you are a good speaker, you should be able to speak a topic for 30 days, 3 days, 3 hours, 3 minutes, 3 seconds. That is like you offer a full plate of fruits or feast, or you don't provide a feast, you provide only fruit, and or you may provide only, you open the fruit and give only the pulp, or you can give the juice. So it depends on the timing people fix to you. If you're a good speaker, this good speaker will stick on to everything properly. It's not a person who speaks for a long time is a good speaker. So you should be able to convey the essence of the message if the timing is short. If you are asked to give a lecture for 20 minutes, you should do 40 minutes, you should do. If you are asked to give for 2 hours, you should do. If you are asked to do in 2 minutes, you should do. That is the smartness of the speaker. Okay, you can condense it mentally and then present it. Okay, so kindly be kind to others and give opportunity to others, because I want to go to the sloka. I don't want it to be prolonged with long discussions. So kindly all of you cooperate. 2 to 3 minutes you can speak, no problem. Yes. Yes, Govindarai Prabhu.
Yes, I just want to say that I got just realization when I was in studying school that I will never take birth again. I will never study again. So that was my realization. For study, I will never take birth again. That was my first realization to go in Golok Dham.
Very good. Okay. So he shared the open, transparent feedback on what about his experience on education. Thank you so much. Abhishek Sinha, Prabhu.
Mataji, the question is not clear. Means, can you?
When you went to school, when you went to school, first standard to 10th standard, of
Yes.
course, first day, all the children will cry because they don't want to leave home. But generally, did you like studying or that exams and whatever is the studying, the subjects? Did you enjoy that very much and did you get involved? Or what was your experience? Second, in case if you thoroughly enjoyed it, then what are you using it till today? All the subjects, whatever you enjoyed so much, all that. That is the question.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So that was the student life. It was more like a duty kind of thing. Means out of it was means invisible pressure was there from parents for constant result. So that pressure made it throughout the school life. So that's why. So personally, means I was able to get through the school without any much problem. But coming to the second question, so whatever I had studied in my school, in present in today, I am not using any of those things. Maybe basic things like addition, subtraction, the means that thing everyone uses, like if they are dealing with money and all these things, then we use the simple arithmetic things.
Okay.
But other than that, the vast subjects, they are often not much used.
Okay. Thank you. What about, we'll go from here. Akarshak Prabhu.
So, Madani, actually, just I was always searching that, means I came from village and I got opportunity to read. So something will change. That I will be not like than my village friends. So I just always had this in my mind. But after means getting and learning all those things. But first of all, everyone not means I also not interested in so much learning all those. And after that also I get means out of our colleges and the schools. Then I came to know that no, nothing changed. Only we learn how to earn money. They are also earning money and I am also earning money. But they means we get
You
some
liked it or you didn't like it? You liked it? Personally speaking. The question.
No, because nothing get, and I didn't get like something much more. But again, the same thing what we get that, and let's say we are able to speak in English, somewhat, and also we have some knowledge that we can calculate, we can do, and we can live in this world means with intelligent. That much I
Okay.
get.
Very nice. Okay. That's also a very open and genuine experience sharing. Ayan Mandal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. In school, yeah, I like the studying, and because it is not about my pressure to score, but I want to score and I want to study. I want to know because in like I am like fascinating about the what to say the space. Like this is the rocket is there, moon is there, and stuff like that. So out of curiosity, I like science subjects and all. I don't like art subject. I didn't attend the class also. So yeah, I liked the school that time. But after that, I also going through engineering college and passed it. But after everything has done, like everything Singapore said, basic or like subtraction and adding, those things are like the current now. Those things are we are using. Except that, nothing is useful.
Okay, good. Now to Divyarupa.
Hare Krishna, ma'am. No, ma'am, I did not like to studies and I did not like studying and all. I hated only and more than that, like I was scared of my teachers who will be giving punishment, the strict teachers and all who will be giving punishments and also I did not like. And coming to your second question, so whatever I studied, like yeah, basic only, like one Prabhu told, basic only, like addition, subtraction, we are using that. But yeah, what I studied in engineering, electrical background, nothing I'm using of that in my job right now.
Okay, good. Again, Frank, very nice. Jayalakshmi.
In school, I liked the English subject very much, and apart from that, I was interested in the participating in skate drama, which was related to the English language. Otherwise, theory part, I was not at all interested. I was interested in the practical sessions of the subjects, but the teachers were not that knowledgeable to teach to make the student understand. So I lost interest in practical sessions also. Just to get educated, I was learning, and I'm teaching whatever I learned. I'm using it to teach my kids. Apart from that, I don't have any correlated anything that I studied with the real life. Mataji. At least in college, I learned something technically in computer science. That at least I'm using it because everywhere technology is there. So
Yes.
only that school is no, Mataji. I'm just teaching the same what I learned to my kids.
Very nice. Navneet Prabhu.
Krishna Mataji. School,
Hare
yeah, Mataji, school, I think I didn't like personally to go to school, but surely I used to wait for my lunch break and evening bell where I can play with my friends. But really, I had my own favorite subjects which I liked, especially mathematics. So only that class I used to enjoy. Remaining time I used to wait when the teacher will go out. College, I thought after my school I will study something really practical. I took my subjects which I like, but I was never taught anything which I can apply basically. So everything went in vain. But towards the end of that, now I'm realizing why I was not taught cooking in the school, why I was not taught probably doing some work right around the house, whatever I see around, why I have not taught that. So as a
electrician
whole,
or
no use.
yeah, the basics.
Yeah, so I don't have basics, but I've learned all the nonsense which I cannot use. So
Electrical engineer, some girls they were doing electrical engineering and they cannot actually fit a tube light. They change the tube light is fused and they cannot. Okay, Abhishek finished and then Navneet. Yes, very good. Thank you. Jivesh.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
So, like education is mostly divided into, I think in my life it was like till secondary, higher secondary, then graduation. So till secondary it was like mixed because I used to like art subjects, English, history, those things I really like to study. But somehow I persuaded in science and then engineering. So I really didn't like it. And in which stream I did my engineering, I am not using it at all. And the higher secondary science and all, this is also not I'm using like in my current job role. So it is kind of a mix.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, you didn't like it, but other than that, you're not able to use also certain aspects. Yes. Okay. Mm. Oh, the next Om Govinda, I already told. Rajkumar?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. I
Hare
just
Krishna.
joined. Yeah, I just joined. So, but could you elaborate me if actually?
Did you like your school education? School, going to school and taking exam, attending classes and subject
No,
knowledge?
not at all, not at all. I was my mother in my childhood. My mother used to say, if you're not going to school, just you have to go to Gosala and you have to clean the cow dung. So I often I agree with that. I wouldn't go school. I will clean.
Yeah, we should have done that, no? All of us. But we
Yes,
cannot read Prabhupada books, at least. We are reading
it's like
Prabhupada.
that.
Good. Thank you for the open expression of your feelings. I can
Yeah,
feel it, no? How many years we spent. Okay. Next, we come to Sadanandini.
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, Dandat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna, pranams.
Actually, material education provides knowledge and skill that is necessary for several reasons, particularly in navigating the material world. It is also essential for one's survival, such as we learn languages, math, science, technology. So it helps us to manage our daily life effectively. We have studied languages, that is why we are able to understand the scriptures written in English or Hindi, or it opens us career opportunity
No,
and
I'm asking about your personal. I'm not asking you to explain when you first day went to school in first standard, second standard, A, B, C, D, and some whatever, whatever you read. I'm asking a simple personal experience, not a general opinion about what is the use of education. When you,
actually.
as a child, when you went, what was your feeling? Maybe till fifth standard or till 10th standard.
Feeling was of mixed nature. Actually, we were scared when examinations were there, and we used to learn the languages and all. And we, with the languages, means we are able to converse well. So it was a
Okay, you're
mixed
using
feeling
it.
only.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're
we
using
used
it, but you had a mixed feeling. Okay.
Yeah.
So in some aspects you liked it, some aspect it was pressure. So okay,
Okay.
nice. Then Sakshi,
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
ma'am, like all others, I was also not a big fan of studying. Like, I think I used to study for very short, temporary crisp goals. So, like in school, I used to study just to please my parents, just to give them the marks that they wanted. Yeah, and in parent-teacher meeting, they don't come and say, "Meri naak kata di, kam marks lake." So, school study is just fine because parents wanted ki be a good student, get good grades. That's it. No getting knowledge or anything, and I didn't even think whether I'm grabbing any knowledge or not. I used to just take knowledge so that I can vomit it on my exam paper. That's it. Even in college, I think all varied subjects know we are using that knowledge, and just basic technical stuff that we are doing. And also, like in college, also my goal was that okay, just be good enough so that you can grab a good, nice job. That's it.
Good. Okay, so she also studied based on pressure. Okay, then not on pleasure, like gain knowledge from the books of the like that. And if you go with that expectation, what ends up we can see some people study something and do something else. Okay, Sumedha, sometimes children like to go to school, maybe to meet friends, to have a good time. Sumedha,
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Uh,
Krishna.
even I not like going to school. I still remember the first period I used to go, I'd start crying, and then I'd wait for the last period to get into the bus and go back home again. So I was not a big fan of going to school and all.
Even 9th standard, 8th standard?
Ninth standard, eighth standard, it was fine. I was just waiting to complete my schooling.
Okay. Santush Nitai? गया ये जहां, सो गया संतुष्ट निताई. Jeevesh will wake him up. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, I also didn't like, and I don't feel we are using anything from our childhood days, whatever we studied.
Okay, sometimes when English poetry and all long, what is his name? I don't know. One man, oh, I cried like anything. Okay, that is my experience that when I went to school, I just went because my parents sent me. And when I forgot the name of the very famous English poem author, oh Krishna, everybody studies. And the teacher, the English teacher asked to mug that up. Oh, nothing was standing in the head. 10 times I am reading and reading and reading. First of all, it doesn't get into English, doesn't get. And second is cannot reproduce. One more time they asked me to give, forcefully they told that I need to give a speech. And a big 2 pages was written and it was given. And that is I have 100% attendance in my school. Not even one day I have taken any leave except for my family function or something. Very rare. Huh? Not even sick. But that day I didn't go to school because I was not able to mug it up. And I don't know whether I can read from the paper. I think they'll refuse because we have to invite somebody and all, invite VIP and all. So in this way, there was some pressure. There was always some pressure, and especially when it was to big books, big words. Diagrams in college, the diagrams were mugged up. There is a box there is a box here, there is 4 wires coming here. This just a mug up. So without any proper understanding, even though I had an interest for studying, I had an interest for knowledge, but I'm very sure that was not fulfilled in the school for me also. Okay. So thank you very much, all of you, for your sharing your experience. So why are we talking about this is because here Isopanisad is telling about how one should get educated. What should be the purpose of education? How one should be educated? When we are getting educated, like Sadanindini started telling so many things, but when you really did schooling, did you do schooling and language for reading Bhagavad Gita? That's a lie. That's a lie. You did it only for increasing material wealth, get a good job, get a lot of money. That was the aim. Aim was, okay, my child will study in the school so that it will study scriptures. No, the child is not sent to the school to study scriptures. The child is sent to school so that it gets some degree, college after that, and then it will take up a good job or a business, then it will earn a lot of money. That is the reason. And when earning a lot of money, what they will do? Buy car, buy house, and then simply sense gratification. There is zero God, baby. Zero God. All our parents sent us to school not for God. That is true. This is the truth. And we should accept it. And okay. One time, I also want to tell you a story here. One time, one man was there and he was a villager. In the morning, he goes to the kitty and he does all the field work and everything. Maybe he has some vegetables and grains he's cultivating. At morning, 10 o'clock, he'll come back. He'll go at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock and he'll come back by 10 o'clock. And he eats nicely and he started lying down in the courtyard. In the village, you know, on the outside, there will be some rope cot and they will just lie down there. So an educated man from the city, he was coming and looking around the village, and at morning 10, 11 o'clock, everybody finishes their job, maximum 10, 11. The Brahmins also get up early morning, the priest goes to the temple, does puja, everything. At 10 o'clock, he'll close the temple, 11 o'clock, he'll come back. He'll also eat and take rest. And then evening, they'll again go back and they'll some work. So this man who was lying down outside his home, this man came and asked, "It's morning, 11 o'clock. It's a what do you say? Prime time for working. Why are you lying down like this?" So the man said that I had some work, I finished it, so I'm lying down like that. Then he said, no, you should not lie down. You have to actually get educated. You should study. You're uneducated. That is why you're idly like this. You're lazy. But that man actually worked in the field for 3, 4 hours. He's coming and lying down there. So no, you should study. If you study well, then you're uneducated. This is not good. So that villager asked, oh, is it? Oh, am I doing something wrong? Okay. Okay, fine. What should I do? You have to go to college. You have to go to, you have to get educated, school and college. Then that man said, okay, after that, that man said that you have to start attending interviews. You should get a job. Oh, is it after that? You will get a lot of money. Okay, after that, you can buy your own home and everything. Okay, after that, what? You can earn a lot of money and then you can aram say live, aram say lie down and be there. That I'm already doing. That man said, already I am aram say lying down. My basic requirements are fulfilled. So atyaharascha prayasascha prajalpaniyamar. Atyaharascha prayasascha. This greed for increasing the material facilities keeps on motivating one to be more and more and more and more and more. And this one will lead him into get lost in becoming proud in the so-called education. So here, the educated people in the world are very much glorified, and they are given Nobel Prize and this prize and that prize because he's a rocket science. Okay, in the rocket you're going to sit and go where? What are you going to go in the rocket? Going to your mother-in-law's place, huh? Why should you have a rocket? So in the siddhas, the siddhas and the yogis, they can just fly in the sky. One time, Saranga Murari Thakur here in Mayapur, we have Saranga Murari Sripat. When you come next time, we'll take you. And there, Saranga Murari Thakur was brushing his teeth with a neem stick. In those days, now also in village, you can see they'll break a long neem stick, a little longer, and in one corner they'll chew it. They'll chew it and they'll make it like a brush, and they'll keep chewing it all around the mouth. Then the neem juice will go inside and all the germs and everything was finished, and very clean mouth. They have no disease. Okay, no disease. That is the primary thing. So, and then when he was brushing like that, then all his disciples came, and some of his disciples came and said, there is one yogi who is coming, because there was a yogi who came to the village, and what he did is he was flying in the sky. That man was flying in a stick or something. He was flying in the sky. So then the servants, they were not, in the morning, they are supposed to serve the deity and so many services in the temple, cleaning the temple, preparing bhoga for the Lord. So much work is there. But this word is spread. The yogi is coming and he is flying in the sky. Then they came and said that the yogi has come and flying in the sky. Then Saranga Thakur said, okay, that's okay. Just take care of the service. No, everybody is going to see him. And he's flying in the sky also. So, no, there's so much service to the deities we need to do. No, and some more people came and they said, the yogi has come. The yogi has come. Very famous, and it's all birds are going. Then he said to his disciples, is it? Oh, what are you going to go? No, he's flying in the sky. We want to see that. They just want to go. You want to see flying in the sky? Okay. Then what he did is he took his neem stick, which he used like brush. He put it between his legs and just flew in the sky. He made one round and he came back and said that you saw someone flying, go and to serve the deities. Like this, he will get sarva siddhi hoy. All the siddhis will be part of a devotee, but he's not there to exhibit and make a show of it for anything, money, name, fame, nothing. He's just knows that I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul, and showing this magic and becoming famous in front of the people is not my aim. My aim is to achieve back my affection for Krishna, which I already lost. So this is the thing, the overall idea, that the purpose of life has to be understood, and the material education is required to an extent to take care. Like we have, like all of you agreed on the mathematics, basic addition, subtraction, triangle, rectangle, you come to know basics. And you also area, breadth, this length, breadth, and all this are fine, kilometer, units. These are fine, which are relatable. And then we have this language, as Mataji said, that the language, 2-3 people mentioned, Jayalakshmi or somebody, they mentioned that they like the language. Of course, we require language literacy to communicate with and read. So these are some basics, but other than that, the fever is increasing and increasing and increasing. And if you see what it is increasing for, to increase the material sense gratification, to bring more products into the market, to more and more products which are unnecessary or coming into the market. And the person who is looking at is hankering to have it. And once he hankers to have it, he needs to earn it. Because he needs to earn it, he has to get a job, or a wrong means or right means, he has to get money. And people gradually go into wrong means to get quick money. In right means, you will get standard money with a limited thing. But you want to get unlimited, then you enter into. In this way, gradually, the entire civilization is going into a very negative path, because they are increasing the sense gratificatory objects and the hankering for having that. So in this way, the education is misused when it is overly done, and it is used specifically for sense gratification. And this will take us far away from the Supreme Lord. Point number one. Second, the persons who are doing this kind of economical development and knowledge development, they disregard the proprietorship of the Supreme Lord. We have a quota. All of us are given a quota. Now Krishna is deciding and is giving a quota, and one plays within the quota, and they don't dodge into another person's property. But when this hankering in the heart increases, I want to do that, I want to do this, then what happens? This gives klesha, this gives complication in the heart to acquire more things, to compare. So Guru Maharaj once said that there was a game, people were playing a game. This was very famous show when I was in college, in a TV show, this very famous show also, and Guru Maharaj also mentioned that everybody is given a shopping cart in a departmental store. They are given a shopping cart, 3 or 4 players, whoever is in the competition is given the shopping cart, and they will be get set go, so ready to go. They'll switch on the timer, and when they switch on the timer, they have to run and pick up as many items as possible within 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever is given. They have a timer. They have to come back and bill it before that, before the particular time. So the one who acquires not the most things, the most costliest things or the most valuable, then they are considered the winner. Same way in the material world, what happens? We compete with each other, that I'm having better life than you, I'm having better items than you. In this way, the subtle competition is giving complications in the heart, and it makes one lose the peace, and they enter into frustration to keep up the status and standard. And this involves so much complications. And a person loses the spiritual ideas, spiritual identity in trying to cope up with the rat race of the material world. So this is going on everywhere. Everywhere this is going on. So this is a dangerous thing, very dangerous. And what is the reason behind all this? The unnecessary education leading into this. There is an education requirement is there, and that much is okay. But more than that is very, very dangerous. This is the present sloka which we are going to go through is covering this. Once again, it's a very amazing sloka and purport. Carefully we need to learn and understand, read and understand this verse. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj. Okay, all of you repeat, and I think we can quickly go through, no need word-to-word translation, okay? Andam tama pravishyanti.
Andham tamam pravishyanti.
Ye vidyam upasate.
ये
ये विद्या उपासते
ततो भूय इव ते तमो
ये विद्या तमो
ययु विद्यायां रता.
ययु विद्यायां रता.
Translation: those who engage in the culture of nescience.
Those who engage in the culture of nescience
Activities shall enter into darkest region of ignorance.
activities shall enter into the darkest region of ignorance.
Worse still are those
Worse are those
engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge.
engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge.
So here, if you see, first thing, those who are in the nescience, they are in the darkest. For example, those who do vikarma. A person is totally drunkard and is like that. Or meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication is involved in that and he's just wasting his life. So they are all in the darkest region of ignorance, those kind of people. So they are going to, their future is totally doomed and so dark. But there is somebody worse than that. Worse still are those. The person who is in ignorance is in greatest danger. That is the first statement. The person who is in andam. Tamo means what? Andam. Tama pravishyanti. A tama, a person in tamo, he will enter into the person in gross ignorance will enter into the darkness. And even the person in avidya, okay, the person, there's two things called vidya and avidya, education, uneducated. So the person who is uneducated and who is not living a life like an animal or something, they will enter into the region of ignorance. But if a person is educated, his situation is even worse. Worse is still are those engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge. So that is what is this verse talking about. It's about vidya and avidya. Let me do one thing. Okay. So this is what we are seeing, mantra 9. So there are two things. One is vidya and avidya. Avidya means uneducated, not getting educated or in ignorance. And the definition of this avidya is given in mantra 1. What is that? It is very dangerous for a person. The second, we saw that the killer of the soul. So who's the killer of the soul? Who will get into darkest region of ignorance? I think mantra 3 also we saw, 2 or 3. Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is the proprietor. 3. Supreme Lord is the proprietor of everything. And that forgetfulness of this fact is called ignorance. Okay. A person has forgotten, okay, Supreme Lord owns everything. This he has forgotten. So this is avidya, it's ignorance. And there's something called vidya or knowledge. So in the world, people are getting educated and educated. Anywhere is there any spiritual education? Anywhere. Anybody except ISKCON, except Krishna Conscious Society. There is absolutely systematically, properly, anybody getting educated? No. So the godless civilization directed towards the so-called advancement of education is more dangerous than a civilization in which masses of people are less educated. You go to some village, come to Bengal, people are in villages, they are not so very educated. That is a civilization. They may not be God conscious. That is itself is a danger. Not being God conscious is a danger. But in that non-God conscious situation, a person who is in godlessly, crazily trying to advance in material education is very dangerous compared to a person who's just there in a not so very educated civilization. The mass is there. And sometimes they get danger, immediately they pray to God, immediately they surrender to God. But a person who's very educated will try to find out a solution using technology. Still, his faith will not go on the Supreme Lord, and his faith will be on the education. So this is a great danger. So this is what this verse describes. So now we glorify a knowledgeable person, right? Whenever somebody is, oh, he's a rocket science person, he's this, that, we glorify whenever, oh, he's very knowledgeable. When I went to Andaman and we were having a Janmashtami program, and there were some youth and they were very interested in asking questions. At that time, one person, one Prabhuji, he told, I don't remember who it is, but they said, so much knowledge. If somebody is having better knowledge than another person, then what should we do? We should listen to him. So people listen based on the knowledge. This is what is happening. Oh, you know, knowledge, the word knowledge, if you see the word knowledge here, the K-N-O-W, it is derived from knowing. It is derived from knowing things. So you look at this person's picture, his head is filled with information. It's completely filled with so many information about sociology, about psychology, about technology, about language, about, I know so many things. Dumped the items of the material world into the head. How much can you dump? What is the capacity of a head? So now if you go, everything is available online. Oh, the Google will find out. The YouTube I can find out. No, baby, gradually they'll hide everything and they'll give you only cloud access. You need to subscribe by paying. Then only you'll get, gradually you see, it is going to be hidden. Everything is of money. Everything is for money. But right now, some things are kept open and we are using. Now you take Zoom and we are having a longer session. We are subscribing for the cloud. In this way, the information, how much information of this world can you withstand within your brain, mind? And a person is glorified just because he is able to retain many information. He knows many information. So the knowledgeable person is very, very glorified among the ignorant, foolish, common men. The knowledge is appreciated. But what does Isopanisad say? Here, the Isopanisad saying, avidya or ignorance is undoubtedly dangerous, but vidya or knowledge is even more dangerous when mistaken or misguided. So this mantra of Sri Isopanisad is more applicable today than at any time in the past. So today's, if you see, earlier if you see, the Brahmanas will get educated mostly into many of the subjects because they are going to become the teachers. For Kshatriyas and Vaishya and all, they will become teacher. So they'll have multiple knowledge because they are not going to personally use it for their own purpose or earning money. A Brahmana will survive only on donation. He won't earn money. So, but when it is to Kshatriya, they will learn only the skills which are required for their profession. And if you take Vaishya, they will also, there are many categories. There may be goldsmith and there may be carpenter, as Navneet Prabhu was telling. There may be different people doing different. There may be agriculture person may be doing, taking care of cows. And so only that education, mostly they'll get it in their home with their family members, elders, or they may go to a particular expertise to learn it. But they will come back and utilize it, and with that they will have their livelihood. Some will be little rich, somebody will be poor, based on the skill and ability to perform. But it's not unnecessary gathering of all information into the head and feeling proud about it. And total ignorance, it's a total ignorance, and it is considered great in this world. It's a general knowledge. When I was in school and all, oh God, oh Krishna. I struggle like anything because they said there is a general knowledge session and then we need to mug up the country names and the capital of the country and the prime minister. and president of that country, and mostly it's all foreigners, and the words are so complicated, and it won't stick in the memory, and then it's all difficult, and there will be some quiz competition and things like that, and people will be regarded as the most educated person, just that they are able to reproduce and memory and reproduce who the president of some country was. And then president changes every 5 years, or there's some election, and they keep changing. So it's so unnecessary temporary information is being gathered. Oh, you don't even know who's the president of India, prime minister of India. Okay, do you know who the supreme god is? You don't know that. Supreme god is permanent, and he's always God. And they don't know that, and they're so proud that they know the common information of the world. So this is here condemned by this mantra of Sri Isopanisad. Is more applicable today because it's a totally dangerous. It becomes dangerous. The word danger is used. The unnecessary information and so much knowledge, improper knowledge is considered dangerous. So the education of today, which is glorified so much, is condemned here. That what is necessary is essential, and not necessary is not necessary. So for example, if I ask you, has any of you done this gliding? I'll ask. Or at least swimming, if not scuba diving. I went to Andaman, they said there is
I've
scuba
jumped from the
diving.
airplane, Mataji.
Huh?
I've jumped from airplane.
You
Skydiving.
jumped, huh?
Yeah, Mataji.
Where in US?
US, yeah.
Okay, there is a entertainment, yeah. Okay, very good. Anybody? So that's an experience. How much you paid for it? That I want in dollars.
$100.
You really would have paid good. $100 if you take it is maybe Indian rupees 8,000
The
rupees. I'm just
sponsor from my company and we went there.
team outing.
Yeah.
Good, but I'm just assuming. Okay, $100, 8,000 rupees for. Okay, what if we ask? Okay, what did you get out of it? Then it is like an experience, right? You pay for that 5 minutes, 10 minutes experience, right? Somebody goes to movie, especially in Bangalore and all PVR cinemas, and any big city, there is big malls, and they go, one ticket is 600, 500 rupees. And it's just 2 hours, maximum 2.5, 2 hours session. And for a 2 hour session, you get an experience. We recently had a travel to abroad. Of course, Guru Maharaj was there, and we went there. And just for experience, all the money is for experience. Okay. And okay, anybody has dived and seen the underwater world or something like that? Somebody from Andaman would have done that. We have some people here. Oh, our dear friend didn't come today. Sadanandini, where is Shri? Oh, she is dropped. Yeah, she's there. So like this, Shrikant is there. So some people would have done this diving or whatever, or swimming at least. Swimming we would have done, and it's an experience. And if you're in Bangalore, big apartments will have it. Otherwise, you have to go to a swimming pool. You can use it in your area, like a club or something. And per hour they charge, or per month they charge. Maybe per month 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 you need to pay. And then you can use it every day, 2 hours or 1 hour, like that. So every experience, it costs so much. And we also would like to have that experience. Wow, that experience. I want to experience this food, that food. I want to fly. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the person who's doing this paragliding, the person is doing that paragliding, this gliding. If I tell that our Abhishek Prabhu has done it, I declare that Abhishek Prabhu has already done this paragliding. Do you agree, Prabhu? Jivesh has done it. Jivesh, I say that you have done this paragliding. Agree, disagree?
Disagree, Mother.
Okay. What about this swimming and getting into the water and seeing all the species inside the ocean? I say that you have done that. Done it.
No, I have not done it.
No, baby, all of us have done it. All of us have had this experience. Jalaja Navalakshani Stavara Lakshavimsati. We were fishes, baby. We were fishes. We were birds. What this gliding people doing for 10 minutes, half an hour? We have flown into the sky. Krishna is giving us all kinds of experiences in all kinds of species. Only thing is we forget it because if we remember, it will become complications. So in every life forms, we are having, for example, in this human form, we are having taste of idli, dosa, and everything. And then maybe we elevate next life to become demigod. Then if I ask, and demigods are eating some other food stuff, nectar and so many other stuff, they don't eat in this idli dosa. And if I ask a demigod, have you eaten idli dosa? He'll say, no, I have not eaten. Would you try? Yeah, maybe. Like this. No, baby, you already. Puna charvita charvananam. Prahlad Maharaj is telling. Already you have chewed and you have spitted. And after spitting, you're taking it and again putting in your mouth and again chewing, trying to yield some pleasure. Again you're spitting. Again you're taking and chewing. Again you're spitting. How dirty is that? That your all these experiences in various life forms. You were a bird, 84 lakh species, 80 lakh species we crossed, and we got the human species of life. And we had this experience of whatever this. We have flown like a bird. Why this 1 hour, 2 hour? Entire life, like an eagle in the top level, we have flown. And as a sparrow, we have flown in the lower level. As a duck, we have swimmed in the water. As a fish, a deep water whale, we saw the underwater world. We were sometime dawn of the world. Sometime we were one among the small fishes. And sometime we were tortoise. Sometime we were walking on the floor, and then sometime earth, and sometime on the water. Sometime we stood like a tree for 100 years, 200, 500 years. In this way, we have undergone. Only thing is there is a forgetfulness. So again, we experience. Again, this matter, same thing, chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing. This is what we are doing in this body, trying to do in this body. But when someone descends along with the Supreme Lord, like Garuda, he has a perfect experience with a fully satisfying experience and unforgetful experience. For example, one example I can give, like Murari Gupta is the eternal constitutional position of a devotee. And he lives along with the Lord Chaitanya in the Dham. In the original Navadvip, in the Goloka Vrindavana, there's a Sveta Dvipa. There is this Gaudamandala Navadvip, all these are there. And same like Krishna in Goloka. Within the Goloka is divided into Dwaraka and all. Dwaraka, Goloka, and this. So there, then when Lord descended as Ramachandra, then the Murari Gupta came as Hanuman. And he had a beautiful experience as a monkey jumping here and there, as a monkey taking the tail and putting the fire, and entire Lanka he burnt. Then he lifted the mountain for Ram, Lakshman, Krishna, Balram. And this way he performed Herculean task and he declared war against Ravana. He went and yelled at Ravana, and Ravana didn't give him a seat to sit. And he was sitting in a higher asana. So he extended his tail so big, then he made a big asana more than Ravana, and he sat on that. So, and it declared, I am Ramachandra Dasa, like that. And when he as Mirari Gupta is unable to forget this beautiful pastimes he performed for the Lord, and he became a monkey, and he was so happy about it. So this, the experience which one undergoes, when it is for Supreme Personality of Godhead, and those experiences stick back, and that experience eternally stay within the heart, and they nourishes the person. But when it is for self-enjoyment, when somebody is chewing the chewed, it is like spitting and taking and spitting and taking. There is no essence in that. And it is Prabhupada also mentioning, like we saw that the camel is chewing the cactus and thinking it is, or sometimes they say that chewing the bamboo and thinking it is sugar cane. You see, the sugar cane and bamboo, they look similar. When it is, especially when it is, the bamboo is a little younger shoot, then you can see it looks almost similar to the sugar cane. But when you chew the sugar cane, you get very sweet juice. But if you try to chew the bamboo, your teeth will break and you may get blood and you think that is the juice. So in this way, when somebody tries to have a sense gratification experience, we already had experience in various species of life. So this is the truth of this material existence. And this verse very nicely speaks. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a song on this before, or we can come back to this. Maybe I'll share it in the WhatsApp. You can go through this. It's a very amazing song called Vidyara Vilasi. Only one or two sentences, one or two we'll read now, and then this is a very nice song. Vidyara Vilase Katainu Kala Parama Sahasami Tomara Charana Nabajino Kabu Yekono Sarana Tumi. So like that it goes. Podite podite barasa barilo janine gati habimani. Se asha bipala se jana durbala se jana agyana gyani. Like a very nice song. So with great enthusiasm, I spent my time in the pleasure of mundane learning. I never worshipped your lotus feet, O Lord. Now you are my only shelter. Reading on and on, my hopes grew and grew, for I considered the acquisition of material knowledge to be life's true goal. How fruitless those hopes turned out to be. For all my knowledge proved feeble. Now I know that all such erudition is actually pure ignorance. All the so-called knowledge of this world is born of flickering potency of your illusory energy, Maya. It is an impediment to the execution of devotional service to you. Indulgence in mundane knowledge is verily makes an ass of the eternal soul by increasing his infatuation. What happened? Infatuation with this temporary world. So as is a symptom, we already saw that the ass carries a lot of burden with a very less cost and all. We saw that whenever ass is mentioned, what it is, camel is mentioned, what it is, dog is mentioned, hog is mentioned, what it is mean. What does that mean? It is not simply scolding. You already, each of you is a group discussion, you did this. So I'll share this. Here is one person who has been turned into such an ass, who for so long have carried on his back the useless burden of material existence. Now in my old age, for want of power to enjoy, I find that nothing at all pleases me. Life has now become agony, for my so-called erudite knowledge has proven itself to be worthless ignorance. Material knowledge has now become a pointed shaft and has pierced my heart with the intolerable burning pain of ignorance. O Lord, there's no treasure worth seeking in this world other than your lotus feet. Bhakti Vignoda abandons all his mundane knowledge and makes your lotus feet the sum and substance of his life. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the first Indian magistrate. His name and history is there in the history books of Orissa state government, the state board exam, books in the school. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's history is one of the lesson in those books, because during British government, all the magistrates were only British people. The first Indian magistrate, an Indian is appointed as a judge in the court. So he is the first Indian magistrate. So he was very glorified for his education. He can speak many languages and he was very expert in English, as you said, the English language. And sometimes when we read some of his articles, we can't even understand that much good English was. Britishers have to refer to a dictionary to listen to his lecture. It was so good. He was in language. And he was India's first, even in India, in government gazette and all, it's there, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Kedarnath Datta, his name is the first, India's first Indian magistrate during British government. And British government handed over so many responsibilities to him, and they depended on him for his intelligence and knowledge. So the mind and intelligence also belongs to material body. Always you should understand people are proud about their intelligence, but the intelligence is a like if some girl is proud about her beauty, it is going to get destroyed. It's going to be burnt one day. From previous karma, it has just come. That's all. Same way, it is grossly visible facility, and same way, subtly visible, subtly available is intelligence. This subtle is like a beauty of the subtle body, maybe. And what is that in show off? If a girl is too much showing off her beauty, then it's considered nasty. Same way, if somebody is showing off his intelligence, that is a subtle nastiness. That's all. So that's also mentioned here. It's a wonderful purport. Let's all listen. Okay, somebody start reading.
This
This
mantra.
mantra offers a comparative study of Vidya and Avidya. Avidya or ignorance is undoubtedly dangerous, but Vidya or knowledge is even more dangerous when mistaken or misguided. This mantra of Sri Isha Upanishad is more applicable today than at any time in the past. Modern civilization has advanced considerably in the field of mass education, but the result is that people are more unhappy than ever before because of the stress placed on material advancement to the exclusion of the most important part of life, the spiritual aspect. As far as Vidya is concerned, the first mantra has explained very clearly that the Supreme Lord is the proprietor of everything, and that forgetfulness of this fact is ignorance. The more a man forgets this fact of life, the more he is in darkness. In view of this, a godless civilization directed towards the so called advancement of education is more dangerous than a civilization in which the masses of people are less educated. Of the different classes of men, karmis, jnanis, and yogis, the karmis are those who are engaged in the activities of sense gratification. In the modern civilization, 99.9% of the people are engaged in the activities of sense gratification under the flags of industrialism, economic development, altruism, political activism, and so on. All these activities are more or less based on satisfaction of senses to the exclusion of the kind of God consciousness described in the first mantra. In the language of the Bhagavad Gita 7.15, people who are engaged in gross sense gratification are mudhas, asses. The ass is a symbol of stupidity. Those who simply engage in the profitless pursuit of sense gratification are worship avidya, according to Sri Ishopanishad. And those who play the role of helping this sort of civilization in the name of educational advancement are actually doing more harm than those who are on the platform of gross sense gratification. The advancement of by a godless learning by a godless people is as dangerous as a valuable jewel on the hood of a cobra. A cobra decorated with a valuable jewel is more dangerous than one not decorated. In the Hari Bhakti Sudodaya 3.11.12, the advancement of education by a godless people is compared to decorations on a dead body. In India, as in many other countries, some people follow the custom of leading a procession with a decorated dead body for the pleasure of the lamenting relatives. In the same way, modern civilization is a patchwork of activities meant to cover the perpetual miseries of material existence. All such activities are aimed towards sense gratification. But above the senses in the mind, and above the mind is the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the soul. Thus, the aim of education. Thus, the aim of education which does not lead to such realization must be considered avidya or nescience, and to culture such nescience means to go down to the darkest regions of ignorance.
Very good. Thank you. So here there are two things which Prabhupada is mentioning. Like the entire world, 99.9% is towards sense gratification. So what is that 0.1%? Who's the left out 0.1% is devotees who are educating their children, but they should not motivate them so much into the materialistic things, but equal importance they have to give, or more importance they have to give in spiritual advancement, practicing spiritual life. This is very, very important. Then even the Vidya Devi, the Saraswati will be happy to serve that person, and the children will naturally be intelligent to the devotee. So here there is an education which is glorified also. Any education which does not lead to such self-realization. So generally the whole world is they are aimed towards sense gratification. And the mind and the senses, mind and intelligence, all are material. The senses are made of matter. And when a person dies, they will just burn it. And what about the mind and intelligence? They are also subtle body and they are also material only. That belongs to material world. It is not ours. It is not we. But above the intelligence is the soul. Thus, the aim of real education should be self-realization. The realization of spiritual value is soul. Like how Sadanandini Mataji mentioned that we have an education, and if that education is used for reading Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, then it is valuable. So there is that 0.1% of the civilization is devotees. Rest 99.9% is junkyard. What is the junkyard? See, in your home, you will have a dustbin. In office, there will be dustbin. What do? You collect all the dustbin and put it in the outside your home. In some corporation, municipality will keep. And that will be taken and dumped in a yard. Like that, 99% of the 9% is focusing their learning and education into simply sense gratification, and the senses belongs to the body, and the body, very good food, very good eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. Okay, going on like that, you satisfied, not set to next day, again unsatisfied, again unsatisfied, next aim, next target, and die. Full stop. Kidhar gaya yaar? I invested so much my entire life into this stupid thing. It is burnt or buried. Where am I? I'm leaving the body and I'm going as a spirit soul to the next body based on the karma I performed in this previous life. And I have simply wasted this excellent body which is given to me, and it can be utilized excellently, nicely, beautifully. I totally wasted. So, thus the aim of real education should be self-realization. Same way here, the Prabhupada mentions one more word, the decorating a dead body. So, the ass is the symbol of stupidity. So, there are 99.9 is stupid only. They're all stupid. They are investing somewhere which is going to be destroyed. So, where is the investment? At least 1%, 5%, 10%. Where is the investment? On the spirit soul's activity. So here, what is this danger? There are two examples which are given. One is the valuable jewel on the hood of a cobra, and then one more decoration of dead body. These are the two things which are mentioned here. These are the two analogies. Of whom? The cobra, if you see, and those who play the role of helping this sort of civilization in the name of educational advancement are actually doing more harm than those. See, India, mostly if you see, the Indians are said they're not very literate, they're illiterate, like this. But they think, okay, the militia civilization in the US and the UK, very educated and all that. So here very nicely Prabhupada is mentioning and Isopanisad is mentioning, no, we are not too greedy for our living like that. So here, but godless civilization. Prabhupada is mentioning again and again, the danger, the education is dangerous only when it is given in the wrong hand, where they increase the sense gratification. But when it is for self-realization, God realization, and spiritual value of the soul, then it is properly utilized. That is 99.9%. So that 0.1% only people like devotees like us who are using it in the service of Krishna. But 99.9 is using for their own sense gratification. So we should understand that these two things. Okay. So you also have to remember the two analogies. One is a cobra is there, and the cobra, there are two cobras. One cobra is having a jewel in the head, and another. So the cobra with the head in the jewel, what happens? How the jewel gets formed? You have heard about the cobra? Nagamanikam, they say that there are some movies also people take using this. From earlier times when I was in school and college, there were serials which were mentioning about people go treasure hunt and they find this cobra, which is formed of cobra. When it doesn't use the poison goes to the head. And again, new poison gets generated in the mouth. And again, the old poison goes to the head. In this way, gradually the poison turns into a good stuff, and gradually it becomes like a very, very, very valuable gem. And very old cobras will have a big gem on their head, very heavy. And people try to take it. That is different and very difficult to take it. It's very dangerous because that cobra has developed again and again and again and again the poison. Simply the breath of the cobra, person can die, or a little stinking, the person will die. Just it bites a little bit, then that person immediately within short time he dies. Very powerful cobras. So there is a cobra without that jewel, and that is less dangerous. But a cobra with the jewel is more dangerous. So like that, generally everybody is godless, and an educated godless person is very dangerous. They even start their own institution, breathing process, and they spread godlessness in the name of religion. They say religion, they start spiritual institution, and zero God. They'll create bogus deities, bogus something to become famous, and they'll gain a lot of population and they'll popularity, and they'll kill the people with this kind of very dangerous. The learned and non-devotee. Non-devotee is dangerous, but a learned non-devotee is more dangerous. They will propagate any bogus philosophy. So that is one example. Another is decorating a dead body. If a person is really very well educated, hey, my son is this, my daughter is this, she got the distinction, she got gold medal, wow, wow, wow. Every asses are clapping on the another ass. And then Prabhupada is mentioning that like decorating a dead body. That education, next life, again LKG. A, B, C, D, like that. Again, go back. Punar Mushiko Bhava. Again, become a mouse in the next life. So, in this way, so how much investment of time, energy you're doing on it, you should be very careful about that. That is very important. That entire life should not be for that. And we see that you all said that you didn't like education, but most of you, and some of you said that, okay, I like the education, it's useful, but exam and all were fearful. But think of the timing you spent. Very simple. 1 year has 365 days. Working days and holidays and other things will leave. Working days we can take on an average maybe 250 days, including all the holidays. 365 is 250 days in a year. So in 10 years you studied 10th standard, then 12th standard. 12 years you studied, then college, 15 years. 15 years, morning you get up, you will sleep for certain duration. What did you do during your school? You did sleeping, eating, school. Exam, education, school, eating, sleeping. Full time for entire 15 years you did this thing what is Prabhupada and this is mentioning. We all did this. We all did this. There is zero God. Zero God. None of you can claim. Very, very little the family time. Then they'll say there is a puja in our home. Today is Vamanadev is being worshipped. There is some Mahabali program, or if there is a Diwali where Krishna killed Narakasura, you have to stay back. Only one day there is a leave, and that is also for what? New dress, good food. Whether it's offered to God or not, that's a big question. Some places they offer, but very minimal connection with God, very minimal connection. There is no consciousness, there is no proper education or teaching. Education is not done for Krishna or spirituality. To know even ourselves, who am I, that education also not there. Nothing. So Maya Apakrita Jnana. Now can somebody read it quickly so that we can finish it this? Navneet wanted to read earlier.
According to Bhagavad Gita 0.42 and 7.15, mistaken mundane educators are known as Vedavada Rata and Mayaya Ahrita Jnana. They may also be atheistic demons, the lowest of men, those who are Vedavadarata pose themselves as very learned in the Vedic literature, but unfortunately they are completely diverted from the purpose of Vedas. In Bhagavad Gita 15.15, it is said that the purpose of the Vedas is to know the personality of Godhead. But these Vedavadarata men are not at all interested in the personality of Godhead. On the contrary, they are fascinated by such fruitive results as the attainment of heaven. As stated in Mantra 1, we should know that the personality of Godhead is the proprietor of everything and that we must be satisfied with our allotted portions of the necessities of life. The purpose of all Vedic literature is to awaken this God consciousness in the forgetful living being. And this same purpose is presented in various ways in the different scriptures of the world for understanding of a foolish mankind. Thus, the ultimate purpose of all religions is to bring one back to Godhead. But the Veda Vadarata people, instead of realizing that the purpose of Vedas is to revive the forgetful soul, lost relationship with the personality of Godhead, take it for granted that such side issues as the attainment of heavenly pleasure for sense gratification, the lust for which causes their material bondage in the first place, or the ultimate end of the Vedas. Such people misguide others by misinterpreting the Vedic literature. Sometimes they even condemn the Puranas, which are authentic Vedic explanation for laymen. Vedavadaratas give their own explanation of the Vedas, neglecting the authority of great teachers, acharyas. They also tend to raise some unscrupulous person from among themselves and present them as a leading exponent of Vedic knowledge. Such Vedavadaratas are especially condemned in this mantra by the very appropriate Sanskrit word Vedayam Rataha. Vedayam refers to the study of the Vedas because Vedas are the origin of all knowledge. Vidyayam Rataha. Vidya. And Rataha means those engaged. Vidyayam Rataha thus means those engaged in study of the Vedas. The so-called students of Vedas are condemned herein because they are ignorant of the actual purpose of Vedas on account of their disobeying the acharyas. Such Veda Vadaratas search out meaning in every word of the Vedas to suit their own purposes. They do not know that Vedic literature is a collection of extraordinary books that can be understood only through the chain of disciplic succession.
Yeah, 1 second. So here the Vedavadarata is mentioned. The Vedavadarata is they will take the Vedic literature. See, till now we saw that the mundane education. Now the second thing is coming. Some people pose themselves as spiritualists, religionists, and they accept the Veda. And what the purpose of the Veda? Vedaischa sarvairahameva vedya vedanta krit vedavit eva chaham. So to know who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and to love Him is the purpose of Veda. Bhakti Veda Anta. So in introduction we saw, in introduction to Isopanisad, the purpose of the Veda is to know the God and to love God. That's all, full stop. That is the purpose. If you're preaching to someone, what is the purpose of your preaching? Is to make him love Krishna. Accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even this is yesterday that we had a hot discussion. So the Prabhupada is very, very clear. That is why he didn't write for Bhagavan, God. People generally translate the God as God. But Prabhupada purposely wrote as personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of God, it said, Supreme Personality of God, it said. How many times personality? Anywhere Bhagavan, personality. How many times? So what happens is, they read the scriptures, Vedavada Rata, the Vedas they read Vedas. And they do many yajnas and homas and worship. India is full of this. So many religion, so many worship. Some people even read the Vedas, but they don't take the ultimate end of Veda is Krishna. But here, for them, heavenly pleasure is the ultimate. Heavenly pleasure. Let us do Graha Pravesha. You call some Pandit, you ask him, then he will say, take Sankalpa, good family, good health, good children, happiness in this world, go to heavenly planet. In this only way only. So when we went first time, I can say 99 or 2000, we went one time to Allahabad. We were newly married. And then with our family, all of us had gone there. Then the pujari that we went to the Prayag Raj, where the Ganga Yamuna Saraswati Sangam. So we went in a boat to take bath in the Sangam. Then the Pandit accompanied us. In our caste, we have a Pandit. And we found him there, and my mother already booked it. So we went, and he told, all of you tie. The husband and wife should tie their clothes with each other, and then they should take bath. While 3 times, 4 times dip, and he'll tell some mantra. What mantra he'll tell? 7 lifetimes you both should be together. First of all, I don't want 7 life. That is my decision. Second, with the same husband and wife, you should be there for 7 life. Okay, in the 8th life, what will I do? This is a bogus, like tying a jiva with a jiva. So this kind of entanglement, these are all promises and prayers, which unknowingly we perform because the Pandit is saying. But somehow we were new devotees. So Rajeshwar Prabhu immediately stopped. What is the prayer you're doing? No, I'm telling Sat Janma mein kuch bola unhone. So when he was telling Sat Janma mein, immediately Rajeshwar Prabhu stopped. What are you doing? No, I am doing this prayer for you. No, tell me what is the meaning of the prayer. No, Sat Janma, no. First Janma mein nahi chahiye humko. I thought you'll get mukti and we are coming to Triveni Sangam. And you're telling in Sat Janma will be there. That means there's a promise for rebirth. And Prabhu said, no, I won't do this puja. My parents were a little irritated because the son-in-law is not cooperating with the procedure of the family. Like this. So so as devotees, a very new devotee is very, very new. We were devotees. Maybe 2 to 3 years. We just basics. Very, very basics. But we found it. And we refused to do that. At least liberation we should think of. So that the family members, they think this is a very good culture of India. So here the so-called Indian civilization is condemned here. You can see here so-called procedures and religion. Oh, India is a very religious country. That's also very dangerous. Ignorant people are better. The person who are drinking in foreign countries, they are just drinking and living like animals and dogs, is better. It's not so very dangerous than a misguided civilization. Such people misguide by others, misinterpreting the Vedic literatures. Sometimes they even condemn the Puranas. They don't accept Bhagavata, especially. which are authentic Vedic explanation for layman. A layman like us, we are not Vedic people, no? See, we are all here. Sakshi read before this, and Jayalakshmi said she was from computer background, and we have Sadanandini, she's a officer. In this way, we are all ordinary people living in the family situation. We have Abhishek and everybody working in some company. We are laymen. We are ordinary laymen people. We are not religious people doing puja in the temple. But this Vedic Puranas, these Puranas which we are reading, Bhagavata Purana and all, they are authentic Vedic explanation for an ordinary layman is able to understand it. But those people, what they do is they condemn that. They condemn this and they want everybody to follow what they are doing. The Vedavata Ratha gives their explanation to the Vedas, neglecting the authority of great teachers or acharyas. We have here Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We have our wonderful Prabhupada guiding us in every step. And we have further his disciplic succession, acharyas, who are practically guiding us in our everyday life based on Srila Prabhupada books. They are even more smarter in Prabhupada books, especially Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj is very, very expert. Is personally trained by Srila Prabhupada, personally trained and given instructions. Until today, he is living for that one purpose, fulfilling the instruction of spiritual master. So they also tend to raise some unscrupulous person, and they among them they will that Vedavada Rathas, they will bring somebody as great. Oh, you're great. Your one ass will glorify another ass, like that. They glorify each other and they bring them in front, and they say that he is very learned person. So Vidyayam Rataha. So this Vidyayam refers to study of Vedas. So don't think that only material education is wrong. Even when it is to Vedas, when it is for sense gratification, it is wrong. It is primarily meant for sense gratification, going to heavenly planets and giving good family, this, that, and any blessing, any where you go, the Brahmanas will bless you with this thing. Why? When it is a bad life, in life will have both good and bad. So when bad comes, then God should be abandoned. Huh? When good comes, God is glorified. Huh? What a nasty devotee are you? What kind of devotion is this? So the sense gratification or good life is not the purpose of worshipping God. So that is what they advise us. So Vidyayam Rataha. So those who are engaged, and some people keep reading Vedas and Vedas, and so much education is so dangerous. Manu Samhita, this Samhita, that Samhita. Sometimes new devotees, the very, very neophytes, like we saw Kanishta Adhikari Bhaktas, they come, they become super enthusiasts. And they read that book and this book and that book and everything Vedic literature. Mahabharata, Ramayana, Prabhupada didn't translate because it's not required right now. Ramayana is not required. It's really not required. That much information is there in Bhagavatam about Lord Ramachandra. That much is enough. International Society for Rama Consciousness. Now, so when Prabhupada is giving us acharyas, so here, those kind of people, then they read so many books. And when we say that it's not required to learn Sanskrit, because I met one friend here, she is my old friend, and she came with the children to educate them here. And she was asking which school to put in. I said, there is two schools. Either there is the school, and no, she said, no, I want, everybody is advising me to give them Sanskrit education, Sanskrit. I asked, nobody is speaking Sanskrit in the world, even among devotees. Why should you learn Sanskrit? Point number one. Point number two, already all the Sanskrit is translated by Srila Prabhupada to English day and night. The only job Prabhupada was doing is 18,000 verses, which are all in Sanskrit. 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita, all in Sanskrit, translating into English. And easily we can learn English, and we are learning the scriptures. Why should you go back to Sanskrit to find fault in Prabhupada? While that is required, this is unnecessary education. So dangerous. These educations are very, very dangerous. Such Vedavada Rathas search out meaning in every word of the Vedas to suit their own purpose. They have an agenda, and they search and they search. And it's not that their interest is to read the book and really assimilate the overall understanding, meaning what the Acharya is trying to tell me. I want to understand the meaning. That is not the intention. What is the intention? The Vedavada Ratha's intention is to search out meaning in every word of the Vedas. For what? They have their own purpose to prove, and they want that purpose to be proved by that word, that individual statement. Even me and Prabhu earlier, when this quotes started coming in online, the many quotations, quote kind of thing will come. And sometimes we see Ajib sa quote, no, this is not proper. Then Prabhu says that the previous 2-3 sentence they left, the next 2-3 sentence they left. It's a part of the paragraph. Like for example, when you take Bhagavatam, the Hiranyakashipu is speaking. When the Hiranyaksha dies, the Hiranyaksha's wives will be crying. So, an entire chapter here, or many slokas, maybe 15-20 slokas here, many slokas. Hiranyakashipu will speak about we are not the body, we are the spirit soul, and we have another life, like this. So he will give very nice explanation. And if we go to that chapter and directly take in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned in 7th canto, such and such sloka. So, but actually, if you go and see previous, before 10 sloka, it is Hiranyakashipu Uvacha. Hiranyakashipu speaking, but you're getting Prabhupada is telling it's in Bhagavatam, it's in Bhagavatam. Sometimes people quote a very, very big, very funny thing, which me and Prabhu found is the funniest Bhagavad Gita quotes is the quote from first chapter. We'll be reading Bhagavad Gita, and the joke, the first chapter is nothing but first chapter and the little starting of second chapter is confusion of Arjuna. So in confusion, Arjuna will speak so many words. Sri Sudusha, Shuvashneya, Sri will become Dusha, this and people give lectures on this. So, and saying that it's from Bhagavad Gita. No, in Bhagavad Gita, in first chapter, Arjuna was confused. And during confusion, he spoke so many words, so many sentences. How you can take it as an authentic explanation of Bhagavad Gita? Then Krishna clarified each of the doubts, and when and then Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Then Krishna starts speaking. That is the real. But people take this as an argument because they love argument. Their aim is to not really know but to argue. It's called logicians. Logicians is a part of this Vedic learners. And one logician, one Vedavada Rata will argue with another Vedavada Rata, Vidyayam Rata. Their aim of learning, like this Varanasi Brahmanas, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, they were all learning the Vedanta Sutra. For what? That one will tell some philosophy and another will refute that, and another. It's a total waste of time. Total waste of time. So they'll do that. And Shad Goswami and all doesn't do that. They are in the rasa, they are in the exact essence. So they do not know such Vedavada search out meaning in every word of the Vedas to suit they want to prove some point. Sometimes they will speak something. And to prove that, they will go and search in the literatures. No. You have to learn the literature for knowing things, not to prove your point. So this is the explanation. This Vedavada Rata is mentioned in 4 kinds of people who won't surrender to Krishna. There are 4 people who will surrender to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned. And 4 people who won't surrender to Krishna. So in that one category is this Vedavada Ratas. And they do not know the Vedic literature is a collection of extraordinary books that can be understood only through the chain of disciplic succession, by your own individual learning, because the intelligence also belongs to matter. So with that, we cannot understand submissively. Tatvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Srila Prabhupada, kindly let me understand. These are all transcendental science related with soul. I am so engrossed within this body. I cannot understand this transcendental subject. I am such a fool, Prabhupada. Kindly reveal the truth to me. This is the sincere approach of Prabhupada's books. That is why we are doing their prayers. It's not for formality. Tell Prabhupada Pranamantra, tell Guru Maharaj Pranamantra, tell Hare Krishna Mantra. What should I tell in front of before my class? What should I do? I'll go to the Bhagavad Gita and Prabhupada has written some Pranamantra and I'll just repeat it like a parrot without understanding what it is. Not like that. A genuine prayer to reveal by the spiritual master is essential, and that will reveal. So, because it can be understood only by the chain of disciplic succession. So, how should one learn properly? So, that is also given here. One should approach bona fide spiritual master. If somebody can read this, we can finish reading only 2 paragraphs quickly. And tomorrow onwards, we can start a little early because I don't think 9 o'clock anybody is doing anything. 8:55, 9, I think it is becoming free. Let me check. And 9 itself, we can start so that we can finish early. Yeah, go ahead.
One must approach a bona fide spiritual master in order to understand the transcendental message of the Vedas. That is the direction of the Mundaka Upanishad 1.2.12. These Vedavada Rata people, however, have their own acharyas who are not in the chain of transcendental succession. Thus, they progress into the darkest region of ignorance by misinterpreting the Vedic literature. They fall even further into ignorance than those who have no knowledge of the Vedas at all. The Maya Pratagyana class of men are self-made gods. Such men think that they themselves are God and there is no need of worshipping any other god. They will agree to worship an ordinary man if he happens to be rich, but they will never worship the personality of Godhead. Such men, unable to recognize their own foolishness, never consider how it is that God can be entrapped by Maya, his own illusory energy. If God were ever entrapped by Maya, Maya would be more powerful than God. Such men say that God is all powerful, but they do not consider that if he is all powerful, there is no possibility of his being overpowered by Maya. These self made gods cannot answer all these questions very clearly. They are simply satisfied to have become God themselves.
Thank you very much. So this next category after first is the person in ignorance. The more danger is the person who's learning material education, so much involvement, material fever, and that feverish guy is there. And another category is Vedavada Rata. They learn Vedas and they just the purpose of argument or just mundane or material benefits or going to Swargaloka, this kind of Veda reading. And after that, there's Maya Apagrada Jnana. He has a Jnana, and that his Jnana is stolen by Maya. Maya has stolen the Jnana or knowledge. So what they do is self-made gods. Now there are many famous people online. They are coming and they think themselves as God. And there is no need of worshipping any other god. They are the primary figure in the name of spirituality. They are the primary figure of worship. Everybody glorifies them, everybody. And and they glorify also the another rich man. If there is an ordinary man, but if he's either rich or he has some fame, they will glorify. If there is a movie actor coming, they will very nicely glorify them and they give some jokes and they pamper them by their words. Insofar you give me godly worship, I don't mind giving you respect and affection. So this is what is their agenda. They will agree to worship an ordinary man if he happens to be rich, but they will never worship the personality of God. Such men, unable to recognize their own foolishness, never consider how it is done. So one more Mayavadi also is mentioned here indirectly. What is Mayavadi? That we will have an elaborate discussion later in Bhagavad Gita. Right now, Bhagavad Gita gives excellent, Prabhupada disciples, Prabhupada himself has given a separate article on Mayavadi philosophy. Earlier old versions of Bhagavad Gita had that attached. I'll try to find it in I think in my Bhagavad Gita it's there. It's a separate 2-3 pages about what it is. Very simple to understand. That I'm also God, you're also God, everybody is God. Very simple, no? We all are God. Only thing is we have not realized, we have forgotten. Why we have forgotten that I am God is because of illusion, Maya. So, which actually proves that Maya is superior to me, which actually means Maya is more powerful than God. So first of all, the Mayavadi philosophy says we are all God and I am God. I realized it, so I am God. You are not God because you have not realized. So you worship me. Right now I am self-realized. What is self-realization? I am God, I realized. When you meditate, when you do things, then when you meditate, then later you will know that, oh, I am that. I am that. And I will understand I am God only. I'll realize, wow, I'm God. Okay, fine. Before realizing, that time also I'm God, but I was not, I was in forgetfulness or illusion. I was in Maya. So if you can undergo Maya, Maya is superior to you, how can you be God? Because you are fool for some time, you have forgetfulness, you have ignorance. If I ask you, last year, same day, same time, what were you doing? What were you eating? Tell me. You can't remember. What did you do on this day? Same date, last year. Only 1 year back, okay, 1 month back, what did you do? You don't remember. This forgetfulness, if you're God, how would come to God? So they say that because of illusion, the God is very powerful, but I have forgotten that I'm God, and I entrapped in Maya. But once I come out of the Maya, I will realize I'm God. So you're already in the clutches of Maya, or Maya is overpowered you. That means Maya is superior to God. So that is that self-made gods cannot answer all these questions very clearly. They simply satisfy. They are simply satisfied to have become God themselves. So calling I am God only. Anyway, you argue so many things. Sometimes they smile. They don't answer because they cannot answer logical questions, proper questions. These self-made gods, and they crack a joke. They laugh, and many answers also laughs there, like this. So the famous spiritual industry is going on. And sometimes people are like that, and they say that you can search. There are some writers whom I came across also. They write that you search within, search within, search within, search within. Okay, what are you searching? Are you searching God? Yes, but still later I will understand I am only God. This is totally bogus philosophy. You are urinating, you are shitting. Every time you are hungry, you are undergoing frustration, you are undergoing forgetfulness, and you are undergoing birth, death, old age, disease. Everything you are undergoing, you are a nasty crap. And you are thinking yourself God. I will tell one small incident and we'll close it really late here. So one time in our Janmashtami program, there was a new boys who joined very recently, very enthusiastic, and we were very happy with them. Just 2-3 months since they joined, they started understanding many things. And they were very friendly and all. So when there was a meeting, they said, okay, each one will take one service. They said, we'll take two stands, because they can sit there and chat. They all want to sit there and chat. The others took other responsibility, but they hear that doing menial service is very good and they wanted to take it. So they went and sat there, and I used to really be very good friends with them. And then once in a while, I'll take a break and go to them. They'll take a break and come to my stall and all that. So when I went there, then they explained one very beautiful incident that just recently happened, that one man, he came that our temple is almost 1.5 kilometers from the main road earlier. Now our temple has proper road. That time it was little 1.5 kilometers they need to walk. So the one man on Janmashtami afternoon, he came. Afternoon, not much crowd will be there. Temple will be full day open, but still people may not know, so they won't come much in the afternoon. It was so hot, very hot, sunny day. And then a man came. And as soon as he came, he took a shelter in the shoe stand, and he said that, can I sit here for some time? It's very hot. Do you have water? And they gave him water, and he drank. The devotees were fasting, but that guy drank water, and he was telling it's really hot, and he was really sweating heavily. Then he told to the boys after Aram, he said, I am God. Then all of them were so surprised. Sir, what are you telling? Are you God? Yeah, I am God. I realized it. Then he said, you're also God, but you didn't realize. The boys. So one of the boys, he asked, sir, very, very new boy. Of all the boys, he's the newest. Okay. So he asked, sir, if you are God, innocently asked, if you are God, why did you walk from the main road here? You could have flown and come. You could have flown and come. In no time you can be here. Why are you sweating and drinking water and resting? You could have fly. Why did you walk? You're undergoing all the trouble of this body, and you're claiming yourself to be God. This is the most foolish thing ever. And we were all laughing like anything. In our language, it is very nice to hear in the local language. Why did you walk? You could have flown like this. It was very nice. Okay. Thank you very much. So if you have any experience to share, you can keep it ready for tomorrow. And it will be nice to hear 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Okay. Any questions or comments, put it in the group. Now it's too late. And it's Kartik month, it is okay. Ekadashi, you don't sleep much, it's also okay. 1 or 2 days, not every day. And we discuss Krishna conscious subjects. We'll wind up here. If you have questions, any question, only one question, without any time taking, short questions. Any before going to sleep question there?
Yes, Mataji, 1%.
Yes. No
Yeah,
arguing
so
back. Whatever I say, if you want, if you want further, you can either put it in the group or send voice message to me. Okay?
Yes.
Because
So
everybody
they,
after 11, I don't want to keep them. Yeah.
so actually you were explaining about, there is ceremony, something like, and he's showing power. So
Saranga
he
Murari
also,
Thakur, he is a Gaudiya Vaishnava, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associate.
yeah. So in the same context, so we cannot use power to show, right? But can we use power for preaching purpose, something like that?
Why should you attract? You are attracting people to yourself or to Krishna? Krishna is the last sloka of Bhagavad Gita describes as Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Yoga ka Ishwara hai. So Krishna's power is what you need to bring in front, not your power. So is it you are trying to gain followers or you are trying to gain people for Krishna is the question. So you have to glorify Krishna and make everybody fan of Krishna, not yourself. So even if you have devotees have power, they may get power, but they won't exhibit it. They will never exhibit it. They will only engage people in devotional service. Originally, who comes, that is enough. This is the truth. Krishna is all attractive. And we have to bring people to Krishna by genuine explanation. Not by showing to fools only. Prabhupada said miracles are for fools. Like Jesus, he did miracles because it is for fools. So we should attract people by explaining properly about Krishna and engaging them in beautiful devotional service like Kartik Lamp and coming to ISKCON, singing and dancing, eating prasadam. They will be very happy and they will voluntarily, they need to come. Why we need to cheat and bring people? Krishna doesn't require cheap marketing. He's all attractive. First, we should have faith that Krishna is Supreme Lord and is all attractive. Krishna, Akarshana iti Krishna. Akarshana means Krishna has all attraction. And we have to show that attraction to others. And they will naturally be attracted. So we are not here to gain popularity. Who said fame will bring? Fame is one of Krishna's opulence. Why do we want it? Like I am thinking, if I'm becoming very beautiful, I'm a lady. If I'm becoming very beautiful, I can attract many people to Krishna consciousness. Is that a criteria? So fame is also one of the opulence of Krishna. 6 opulence belongs to Krishna. Based on our karma, sometime will be ugly, sometime will be beautiful, sometime will be intelligent, sometime will be foolish. Based on the previous life karma, we will be different. And that is not the exhibition we need to show in order to attract people. Real Krishna conscious subject itself is all attractive. Krishna is all attractive. Devotional service is beautiful. What is that? There's a beautiful sloka in Bhagavad Gita which describes Krishna himself is wow. He is telling wow to, what is that? Susugam kartum avyayam, Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam, Pavitram idam uttamam, Pratyaksha agamam dharmam, Susukam kartum avyayam. For example, if the evening arati in Damodar month, if somebody new person comes, he will ask, can I also have a lamp? If he comes to Mayapur temple, just first time he's entering, and he's seeing that the lights are all off and beautiful Radha Madhav is there, everybody is showing Namamishwaram, then he'll say, where can I get the lamp? You go in that line, you can get the lamp. So Krishna is all attractive and we have to attract him. We should show the 2 things we need to do. We should explain about Krishna and devotional service, engage them in devotional service. The devotional service is even more attractive than Krishna. Devotional service comes from Srimati Radharani. So we have to project them. Not Radharani, I'll tell about pastime about Radharani. No. Radharani gave 9 processes of devotional service. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam. That's all. And devotees has power, he will throw it in the dustbin. Like Sanatana Goswami had very valuable gem, that Sintamani stone. He threw it in the dustbin. So that is a real devotee. He doesn't bother. He wants to promote Krishna, not himself. Got it? And if you have further questions on this, please put it to me in WhatsApp as a voice message. Okay? Thank you very much. Panchakalpatarubhyashch kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. जय शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि 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 बोल।
संता गोपी माता जी की जय।
मारो मुझे मारो, हरि बोल।